Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is the start of a new weekly vlog. I have done a proper introduction which I filmed pre this, which will come next after this clip, but I didn't feel like it was right to start the vlog like a normal vlog and not touch on this subject straight away. I'd hate for someone to click onto this video and think that I was just going about life normally and not discussing this or touching on this in my video. So I've just inserted this clip here. I just want to say first and foremost that I'm actually very conscious that I do not want to say anything that is going to potentially offend or upset anybody. So if I do say anything that's offensive, please can you call me out on it, or please can you make me aware of this, because I am so highly aware that there is things that I could maybe say not quite right, and I really the object of this clip is not to offend anybody. As I'm sure you'll be aware, with various things that have been in the media in the last week or two, the Black Lives Matter movement has really come to the forefront of everybody's minds at the moment, and it's something that is being protested and discussed, obviously following the death of George Floyd, where he was killed by a police officer. It's really brought a lot of questions and a lot of things to the surface that potentially some people weren't necessarily massively aware of, or just wasn't something that they had on their minds. Now, I've always been somebody that doesn't believe that racism is fair, and I don't believe it should be something that we face and that we have in this country. But I'm by no means a perfect person, and I feel like everybody, including myself, should learn, educate themselves, and take from this situation as much as we can knowledge wise. I believe there is no such thing as too much learning, too much education. I feel like it'd be really important, and it has highlighted to me that I feel like I potentially don't know enough about Black Lives Matter and racism as a whole. So and various BAME communities, I don't feel like I'm massively knowledgeable in all of those areas. And so because of this, I feel like this is the unfortunately this has to be the catalyst for me, and I'm ashamed a little bit that this has to be the catalyst, something this big and this unfair and this unjust. I'm ashamed a little bit that this has to be the catalyst for me to instigate this education, but it's something that I feel very strongly about, and it's something that I feel like I personally, like I said, I've been brought up in an environment where race doesn't matter, and you know, I've been taught to treat everybody fairly. You know, I went to school with children from BAME communities, and it's something that I don't see myself as a need to treat them any differently because of their background, the colour of their skin, or anything like that. So I kind of struggle to understand, but I stand, and I know that there are issues not just in the States but in every country. There's going to be racial issues, and like I say, I'm using this, unfortunately it has come to this, but I'm using this as a starting point to educate myself on this matter. So I'm going to leave a link in the description box, which basically is a really good centre, and the website has links to various petitions that you can sign, places that you can donate, and there are several ways that you can donate even if you don't necessarily have the money. There are several videos that you can stream and watch. Maybe if you just watch it in the background, and the ad revenue is all going to be, make sure you watch all the ads, and the ad revenue is going to be going to Black Lives Matter organisations, charities, etc. related to Black Lives Matter. So if you have the opportunity to do so and the time, I really implore that you educate yourself. And yeah, there's no words. And like I say, I'm so conscious of saying something incorrectly or not saying it quite right, and because I'm so worried, then saying something not cohesive enough. And yeah, so I stand with you, and let's hope that this this can make a change, because let's be honest, that's what we need. We need change. So cue the rest of the vlog, and then, like I said, apologies if any of this is insensitive, but I haven't got a lot of footage this week, and it's because there's been quite a lot on my mind. So like I say, I hope you're all well, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to a new weekly reading vlog. I am being a bit naughty. It's actually Sunday, but I'm all set up and all dolled up because I've been to a virtual baby shower this afternoon. I've filmed 3 videos already, and I thought, as I'm just here, I am just gonna start the weekly reading vlog off now, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow, Monday, which is like supermarket day, and it's just a bit of a manic day at the moment, the Mondays. So I thought I would just start this here. So like I said, I went to a baby shower today, which is Sunday, which is a bit naughty. This should really be in the last vlog. But the baby actually arrived a bit earlier than expected. So we were supposed to have the baby shower today, and Jo, my sister-in-law, was supposed to go in for a scheduled C-section tomorrow on Monday, and her waters broke Thursday evening. So we had the baby shower with the baby, which was so adorable, and it was lovely to meet the new member of the family. So this week, I don't really know what I'm in the mood to read. I think I'm just going to make a start with Lake in the Clouds, which is the 3rd book in the Wilderness series, which I've read the first 2 books of last month in May. I don't really know what I'm in the mood for, to be honest, and I kind of think like this is just a safe place to pick up. I'm dying to know like what happens next in the series, so I'll be interested to see where we kind of start in this one. The 2nd book ends kind of in a resolved state, but still like with things left unspoken, I suppose. So I think from the back, I think that we might potentially have a bit of a time gap, but 1802, yeah, so like nearly 10 years. So that'll be interesting to see the year gap. But anyway, I think this is what I'm going to pick up first and foremost, and I think I'm just going to have to update you throughout the week whether I pick up anything else alongside it or whether I finish it. I think I'm just going to focus on this. I don't have an Audible credit, and the only other audiobook I potentially could read would be Game of Thrones. I haven't got it here to hand, would be Game of Thrones. So actually thinking about it, it probably would be quite good to make some progress with Game of Thrones, to be fair. I'm about halfway through it, and it's taken me ages to get halfway through it because I was listening to it just by audio. So actually thinking about it, that might be a good one just to have on the sidelines to pick up when maybe my other half's gaming with his friends, or gaming and just being a bit noisy. Before we put the TV on of an evening, I've got something that I can read and listen along with at the same time. So I think that's a plan for this week. Lake in the Clouds and Game of Thrones. Very ambitious, but I think we can do it. The only other option I have audiobook wise is I have the audiobook for P.S. I Love You, which would be good to reread because I read it years ago. Like, I want to say potentially 10 years ago, like ages ago. Yeah, maybe even more, I don't know, and I want to reread it before I read Postscript, which obviously is the newer release by Cecilia Ahern, but I don't actually own P.S. I Love You, so I might even buy that on Kindle. I'm not sure. I've got options going into the beginning of the week, but the main physical focus is going to be on Lake in the Clouds. So let's see how the week unfolds. So it's just coming up to 11 o'clock, and yes, I'm sat in my bed. I snuggled up in bed and I'm just starting Lake in the Clouds for today. It's Wednesday today, and between Monday and yesterday, Tuesday, I've literally only read 50 pages of it. I kind of thought I could get this done this week, and I'm literally 50 pages in. Daisy sent me yesterday. I really wish I'd filmed it, but unfortunately I didn't know what the package was, and it didn't look like a book, so I just opened it thinking, cool, what's this, what have I ordered? And she sent me these magnetic tabs. I'll show you in a different video, but they're fantastic for tabbing half, quarter, half, 3/4. So I've done that with it, but I've literally only read 50 pages. So I would like to have it done by the end of the week, but I don't know if I'm going to.
We had a bit of a palaver this morning. My other half, he works in retail, he's a retail manager, and he had an alarm call out. So even though he's furloughed, he still has to attend the alarm call outs because the management teams are the only ones with the only key holders. So even though he's furloughed, he does still have to go. He has to make relevant people aware of the fact that he has been called out to an alarm call, but he still has to go out. We'd probably only been asleep for an hour and a half, and then at 3:30 we got a phone call. And just because of various things, I ended up going with him. I don't really like staying because I often can't relax anyway, because he potentially puts himself in a dangerous situation. Sometimes it's quite obvious that there's no damage, it's something inside, or something's fallen over, and it's caused a proximity alarm to go off, which has then caused luckily it was only a homeless person sat in the doorway, which he had to wake up to be able to even get in the shop to then reset the alarm.
Sorry for the poor lighting, but editing Sophie just wants to come in here and just address the situation with regards to the homeless man sleeping in the doorway. I said luckily it was only a homeless person, and I don't want anybody to take any offence from that. What I meant was it wasn't a hostile situation that my other half was going into. It is a person that my other half knows from the town, doesn't know him on a friend basis, but it's someone that is known to him, a person that has been in his shop before, and the situation was very amicable, and Jay apologised for waking him up in order to get into the shop, and the gentleman did apologise to Jay for having woken him up and having caused the alarm to go off. He did express that he would find something else, hopefully something a bit more permanent. I hope he went and got some help, but he did say that he would not sleep in the doorway again because he did not want to create the situation that he had created. So like I said, I don't want to make any offence. I'm not trying to be offensive by what I said. Just what I meant was, luckily it wasn't a hostile situation. Luckily it was somebody that my other half has dealt with before, has spoken to before, and the situation was very, very amicable. In those situations it can be very stressful going in, especially if you can see signs of a forced entry, you don't know if there's someone still in there, etc, etc. But like I say, I don't want to cause any offence by saying luckily it was only a homeless person, because I didn't mean it like that. It was just something I said in a very sleep deprived state. So I hope that clears that up for everybody.
So we came back. By the time we got back, it was about 5. I think it was more like 4:30 when he got there. We got back at just gone 5, and we were like, we're not going to sleep, because if we sleep now we're potentially going to scupper ourselves, but we both fell asleep. So we've woken up, had some breakfast, and I'm just snuggling in bed. We went for a cycle ride yesterday, which was horrible, and we went for a walk on Monday, which blistered my feet really badly. So I can't do too much with my feet until they're better, because I'm just going to keep rubbing the blisters. So we might go for a little walk today. We're trying to do exercise every day this week, and going forward I'm on a new eating plan, fitness plan, etc, etc. I'm taking part in a 21-day challenge this month, so hopefully it will go well. I've already lost a bit of weight as well, and I'm only a few days in, so very pleased. So yeah, I thought I'd just have a little bit of a lazy morning really, and try and get some of Lake in the Clouds read, because I would really like to finish it this week, and I'm 50 pages into a 610 page book, so wish me luck. So I thought I'd just show you the tabs, the magnetic tabs that Daisy sent me. So they've all got cupcakes on them. I'll show you the pack in a minute. And obviously, because they're a magnetic tab, they just go either side of the page. They stay there, they don't come off, and it's quite a nice way of tabbing the book and having a good visual throughout the book of how far you are. So I can see that I'm not too far away from being 1/8 of the way through, etc, etc. It's not like daily progress. I could do it for daily progress, what I want to do, but it's nice just to have an idea of a half, quarter and 3/4, just to give myself a bit more of a gauge as to my progress through the book. But thank you so much, Daisy May, for sending those through to me. I wasn't expecting it. Let me see if I can find the packet just by here. Thanks for sending those through to me. Really wasn't expecting it. Well, when I opened it and I saw them, I was, because we'd had a conversation about them and I said I'd put them on my wish list. So yeah, you get 4 different colours. I haven't used the yellow ones yet just because they were at the bottom, and they've all got different cupcakes on, and the backs just have arrows on like this, so you could use it to show like an exact spot if you wanted to, but I'm not using those. I'm just using the front for pretty decoration, but they're a nice size. And you could use it as a general bookmark as well if you wanted to, but I like using them for this. So yeah, thank you so much, Daisy May. Really appreciate it. You're so naughty. You need to stop sending me things.
So it is now Sunday. It is just coming up to 12 o'clock, and I've just sat and filmed a new introduction for this video because I felt like it was not right for me to post this video and not touch right at the beginning on the Black Lives Matter movement and discuss some of the things that are going on in the world at this moment in time. So I have just filmed a new beginning clip. You'll have seen that already if you've got this far, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how my reading's been going, and touching on something that I want to look into doing now, and also talk about some of the things that I've received this week, because I have received a few things. I have bought a couple of things, so I thought it'd be a nice end to the vlog. Reading wise, I'll be honest with you, I haven't done a great amount of reading this week. So I've been reading Lake in the Clouds, and I'm currently on page 326, which is just past halfway through the book. As you can see, that much past halfway. I did want to try and finish this week, but I don't think that's going to be possible now. I haven't actually done any reading yet today. I spent the morning on Animal Crossing and doing various other things. Everyone that knows Animal Crossing knows that Sunday morning is turnip morning, so I did prioritise turnips this morning over reading. Normally I'd wake up and I'd read first. I've got into the routine of kind of reading first in the morning, then putting Animal Crossing on about maybe lunchtime-ish, and then reading again in the afternoon stroke evening. But this morning I prioritised Animal Crossing. So it means I've got technically the rest of the day free to read this. I don't think I'm going to finish it, and I'd love to finish it, but I really don't think I'm going to. But I think I can make a dent, and I would really like to get to the 3/4 mark. So that's another 130 pages, which I think is achievable. I think if I could, and I really set my mind to it, I think I could do it. I'd like to get to there, because then it would mean that I only have I think 150 left to read, and I could do that at the beginning of next week, and that wouldn't be too problematic. So reading wise, I've been struggling to read. I think the problem has been my mind has been elsewhere, and I've been struggling to focus. B, I have started a new diet this week. First weigh in, and I've lost 8 pounds in a week, which I'm super shocked and super impressed by. I thought I'd maybe lose a couple of pounds, and then when it got to a couple of days away from weigh day, I weighed myself and I'd seen that I'd lost 5 pounds. I thought, well, I probably won't lose much more than that in the next 2 days. But I have actually lost 8 pounds this week, which is amazing. That's over half a stone. So kind of that's taken up a bit of time as well, just kind of making sure I'm eating properly and kind of organising meal plans and things like that. And yeah, that's taken a little, and I've had to do a bit of research with regards to that as well. Obviously I've spent a lot of time in the media and following and watching videos that have been really insightful, and reading some texts. I've started reading White Fragility, which is one of the books for the Blackout Buddy Read, which is hosted by Shae Reads. I'll leave the link in the description for her video, the announcement video. That started on the 5th, and I have read a bit of White Fragility, but the Buddy Read is reading White Fragility and White Rage. Sorry, a bug has just flown past my camera and I think you saw it. And I have been doing a little bit of reading like that. I also fell down a blooming app hole where you read like a chapter, and you have episodes, but you have to have coins to unlock the next episode, or they unlock every 3 hours. And I kind of got down a bit of a rabbit hole with reading that, and because it was a contemporary and this is a bit heavier, I kind of just wanted to pick that up instead. And it was like, yeah, it was really strange, but I've kind of like got to a point in that story where I'm not that interested anymore. So I've kind of put that to one side, and I don't feel like I can count it because it's not got a like page count tied to it or anything like that. And if anyone's interested, it was through the app Radish, I think it's called, but there are various other apps similar to it. And I think I just needed a bit of a cleanse and something really light and fluffy. That was something that I could read whilst my other half was potentially making a bit of noise, and it didn't matter. Whereas if he's making any noise, I struggle to be able to concentrate on this. I think that has hindered my reading as well this week, not having an audiobook on the go, and not having something that I can zone out completely and read and listen to at the same time. But I'm waiting for my next Audible credit, which I think I've got like another week before I get my Audible credit, and I don't really want to be spending any extra money than I necessarily need to. I have had to make a few purchases with regards to this new healthy eating plan. Metal straws, like who knew, and various little things, so I'm trying not to spend too much money. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I plan to move on to Frankly in Love. But yeah, also just want to touch on this before I go forward. For anybody that is maybe looking at maybe broadening their horizons a little bit and reading some more diverse reads, I'm kind of a little bit ashamed to say that this has been a catalyst to really stop me thinking about diversity in my reading. All the Black Lives Matter movement and everybody discussing diverse reads online has really kickstarted me into thinking about my reading and is it diverse enough. And like I say at the beginning of the video, I'm kind of a little bit ashamed that it's taken this to make me think about it, but I'm really glad that this has happened. For anybody that wants to try and really focus on diversifying their reading, I do just want to point out this is the third book in the series. All of the books discuss attitudes and discrimination towards I mean, right from the beginning we have the Native Americans, so the Indians, the Mohawk, the Kanien'kehá:ka, however you want to name it, right from the beginning of the series. This one specifically, the third book, really starts to touch on slavery and manumission, which is where slaves were kind of released and given their freedom. And it's really, this one really does touch on it. So I feel like this kind of came at the right time, because I felt like I needed to pick something up straight away that had some diversity in it. But reading this, I felt like this was enough of that at the moment. And yeah, if you are interested in something like this, it is diverse. It does discuss discrimination, racism, massive discrimination towards certain characters because of the colour of their skin, and that's not just black slaves, that is Native Americans as well, red-skinned people as they're discussed and called in this book. So that was being really good. I feel like I have already started diversifying my reading by reading this week. We are planning, myself and Daisy May, we are planning on picking up Frankly in Love next week for our buddy read. I'm just going to chat. I think I did message Daisy. I've lost my phone. But I did message Daisy May the other day, making sure she's got it. And we talked about starting it on Monday. So I'm going to text her later and just see how we want to do it. Page count per day or whatnot. We'll have a look. So this one does kind of fit the diverse bill in the sense that this is about Koreans living in America, and the idea that he's only allowed to date Korean girls, etc., etc. So I feel like this fits the diversity and diverse category. I think this fits it well. So I'm looking forward to picking this up next week. I kind of feel like I want to pick it up this weekend, but it's already Sunday, isn't it? So, and I really want to focus on getting a little bit more of Lake in the Clouds read. But I think what we'll do next week is I'll pick this up, have a daily page count that we've kind of got to stick to, and then read, once I've done the daily page count, read Lake in the Clouds and get that done by the early half of the week. So I have had a couple of things arrive this week as well, which most of it's from Daisy May and most of it I've bought myself, but she actually has gifted me a couple of magnetic bookmarks. that looks like a bourbon. So I'm super excited about this. So using a combination of bourbons and cupcakes, I'm going to be massively keeping track of where I've got to. Really looking forward to using this. I love kind of like novelty bookmarks like this, and since using the tabs, I'm a complete convert to magnetic bookmarks. Never used one before. So yeah, that just basically just goes over the page. So for anybody that hasn't used them before, obviously just open whatever page. I can't really do this. Obviously, say you've got to here, you open the bookmark up, pop it in, and then you've got your page marked, but obviously it's not going to fall out like a paper bookmark could. If you've, for whatever reason, dropped your book, it's not going to fall out, it's still there. And it's also, because it's magnetic, you could potentially leave it in that page and you could see your progress you've made in that reading sitting. And you're not going to lose your bookmark. We had a little fun chat on one of our book giving groups this morning on Instagram about someone that had lost their bookmark. I said, use a magnetic bookmark, because you can just magnetize it to the back of your book, or even the front cover or the back cover, and you won't lose it. So we had a fun little chat about that. So yeah, you could even just put it on the cover and it stays on there fine. It moves around a little bit, but it's not like enough that you're going to lose it. So thank you so much again, Daisy May, for sending that through. Really brightened my day. Came home to that yesterday. We went to our nephew's 6th birthday party, and we had half-hour time slots, and the garden had been sectioned off to like left-hand side of the garden, right-hand side of the garden, front garden, and there was like 2 people allowed, like 2 groups allowed at once, like 2 families allowed at once to come and visit. And it rained. As soon as we left the house, it kind of started to try, and then it was raining consistently until basically we got home. It was such a shame. It's been so nice for the last couple of weeks. The last few days have been a bit cooler, but unfortunately it rained. And then something else that I've received is this amazing Kindle and book cover from the Be Happy Book Club, Be Happy Read Instagram page. Chloe, she does vinyl work. She's got a whole page on Facebook. I'll link everything to do with her down below. She created the Be Happy Book Club, and I saw these popped up. I think Bryony's Books received one, and I went, oh my gosh, what is this? What's so great about this? I haven't actually brought my Kindle in because my head is all over the place and I'm in a really like fuzzy mood. But what's amazing about this is you can put your Kindle in the front pocket, and then you can also put a book in the back pocket. Or if you want, you could maybe, if you don't have a Kindle, you could maybe store tabs, rulers, and maybe a pen or something, or maybe like a little notebook if you're writing notes on the book that you're reading for review purposes or something. But I tried it out. My Kindle fits in there. My Kindle's a little bit bulky in its case, but I kind of feel like if it's in this, it doesn't necessarily need to be in its case. But it's perfect, and it fits like a normal size paperback in it really well. But like I say, even if you just wanted your Kindle and a notebook in here, or your Kindle and potentially a tablet, would my tablet fit? Yeah, I think my tablet would fit. Sorry, I think my tablet would fit in there as well. And she personalizes them all for you as well. So I asked for Sophiebeebooks, which obviously is my Instagram and YouTube handle, and she said, do you want an add a B as well? I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing, yes please. So really super happy about this. And I don't know if you can tell, but the text is too much sun, I think, but the text is actually glittery. It's got a glitter sparkle to it. I think you can kind of see a bit of glitter on the sides here where some of it has come off. But yeah, really happy with this. Feels like really nice quality, and was also I think a real snip as well. It was I was expecting it to be more expensive than it was when I asked and inquired about it. So really good value for money. So really happy with this too. And then I did also place a couple of book orders. I watched Priya from Beauty and the Books. I'll leave her video down below as well in the description box. She did a whole video on diverse reads, and I did pick a couple of books up kind of following that video. So I have bought White Fragility and White Rage. They I've bought on Kindle. So many books. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race, and lots of books like that, non-fiction books about race have like gone out of stock in most places. So the Kindle editions are like the options for definite guaranteed like instant delivery that you can read them. I have ordered one along with Talking to White People About Race through Waterstones, because I have a Waterstones gift card, so I have ordered it through them. And I've also ordered the next Wayward Children book as well whilst I was ordering, so that I got free delivery. But that the book was currently out of stock, so I'm waiting for it to come into stock until it arrives. And then I did also make an order with Amazon, and I bought Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman and The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. This is actually on the Goodreads 100 best book list, I kind of heard a lot about this. I asked in a couple of kind of like bookish Instagram groups that I'm part of, gift giving groups, but we talk about other things as well. I kind of asked for diverse book recommendations, and lots of people mentioned The Colour Purple as kind of being a sort of like, you have to, it's a must have. And lots of people also recommended Noughts and Crosses. So for anyone that's not aware, I think Noughts and Crosses is something that has been around for quite a long time, and I always remember it on the shelf when I was at school, but I never remember, I don't think I ever picked it up, and I couldn't tell you why. I believe there's a bit of a role reversal with black people being people of a higher ranking and a higher power, and white people not being so. So kind of maybe a bit more of a reversal on life as we know it, and something I'm really intrigued to kind of read and investigate a bit more. And it's a really interesting concept, so looking forward to reading this, and I might be reading this with a group of people from one of the book clubs that I'm a part of as well. And The Colour Purple I don't know an awful lot about, but it's set in the deep African South between the wars. The Colour Purple is the tale of Celie, a young black girl born into poverty and segregation, raped repeatedly by the man she calls father. She has 2 children taken away from her, is separated from her beloved sister Nettie, and is trapped into an ugly marriage. But then she meets the glamorous Shug Avery, singer and magic maker, a woman who has taken charge of her own destiny. Gradually, Celie discovers the power and joy of her own spirit, freeing her from her past and reuniting her with those she loves. So it's, again, something I'm really interested in starting to read, and I really want to focus, like I say, for the rest of the month. I'm kind of glad I kept my TBR a bit open. I really want to diversify my reading. It's something I'm going to really focus on this month in particular, but not just this month. It's something that I think shocked me when I really looked at it, that I don't think I read diversely enough. And like I said, it's not just for this month, but I'm going to use this month to really identify and create lists, curate lists, create wish lists. And I put several books on my wish list as well, and making a plan going forward to ensure that I'm reading for the rest of my life more diversely. So I'm going to go and sit and do a bit of reading now. So I will wrap this video up either later on today or on Monday morning. I'm sorry if I haven't really seemed myself in this vlog. I'm not really myself. I'm a bit hormonal as well, which is great, so I'm not really 100% myself, but that's nothing you need to worry about. We're just living in a very, very hard time at the moment, and it's getting a little bit struggling to see how things are going to rectify themselves. But anywho, I'll catch up with you later and let you know how I've got on with Lake in the Clouds and how much progress I've managed to make. So I thought I'd just come on and wrap up this week's vlog and let you know how I got on Sunday reading Lake in the Clouds. It is now Tuesday today, so I'm a little bit delayed in wrapping this up, but I did manage to make 100 pages progress through this on Sunday afternoon. I know I said I wanted to get to the 3/4 mark. I'm not quite there, but I have made a substantial amount of progress. 100 pages was read on Sunday, and that was really good in my opinion, but I couldn't stretch the extra 30 to get me to the 3/4 mark. But this leaves a lot less for me to pick up next week, so definitely going to get this finished in next week's vlog. That's the plan, fingers crossed. But I love how at the beginning I've just sat and edited most of this and realised I haven't got an ending clip, so hence why I'm sat here. And I love how at the beginning I was like, well, I might even pick up Game of Thrones, and I might even pick up P.S. I Love You. Like, who knows, I'm going to have such a good reading week, and I've not even finished a book. I think I've discussed Game of Thrones in like the last God knows how many reading vlogs, and I've not picked it up once, but hey ho. So yeah, I am really enjoying this book still. Really, really interesting how the story's going. The only thing, the only criticism I do have is, I think when I discussed this at the beginning of the vlog, is that it's actually about 8 years gap from the last book, the second book in the series. So this is the third, as I've mentioned previously, and the second book in the series finishes and then we have an 8-year gap, and there's some things that happened in those 8 years I kind of feel like we've missed out on. I mean, it's not like you don't have enough information and it's not like poorly explained or anything, but it's just like, oh, I kind of felt like, oh, we've missed out on that, oh, we've missed out on that. But I'm really glad where the story has gone. Some of the characters have grown up, and like I said earlier in the vlog as well, this does have some diverse sort of themes to it. One of the characters that has grown up significantly from the second book to this book, she is an American Indian character from the Kenyan Kaka tribe, and she is really struggling with her career and what she wants to do with her life, and how the discrimination that she's facing and the racism she's facing because of the colour of her skin. It's really interesting to read. But yeah, it was just really interesting to see, as the story's unfolding, how those characters are dealing with discrimination and how they're growing as people as well. So really, really enjoying this. But my mind's elsewhere. And I've been struggling to concentrate really all week. And I think even making the much progress that I have made, like 440 odd pages, I think that's a good, and that's a positive. And hopefully we can have a better reading week next week. So please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really do appreciate it, and I'd love to hear in the comments down below if you have picked out any new books, any new diverse reads. If you've got any that you really recommend, I'd love to hear about all the books everyone's reading at the moment. So yeah, I can't wait to hear about what you recommend in the comments down below. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.